Okay, you guys, I'm back. This is Lisa Beals with Not Your College Life, and this is a bonus episode of A Day in the Life of a College Admin. So I last left off at the end of June. Today's date is July 16th, and a lot has happened in the month of July. So we have handled the students' deadline to tell us if they were going to opt into an online-only version of fall. And so that's been the catch-22. We needed to know how many students were considering this, so before we could decide what we were going to put out there for an online option. Students needed to know what are we going to put out there before they commit. So it was a real chicken and the egg. It was difficult. But I will say the students that were really savvy were not the students that couldn't get back here because of visa issues, or the students that couldn't come back because of health concerns. The smart students were the ones that were planning to graduate in December of this year, that were hedging their bets and opting into the online. And when they didn't see everything they needed to be able to graduate in December, they took the initiative and reached out to their instructors to say, what can you do for me? And they're making it work. So these kids now, where pre-COVID, as a mid-year graduate, you're going to sign a 12-month lease, right? You're going to do August to July, and you're going to graduate in December, go on to employment, and now you're going to have to find a sublet for your apartment for January through July of next year, or pay the rent yourself. Well, now you don't have to, because you never had to come back to campus. And you're going to stay at home and bank the money, or you're going to have a roommate in an apartment someplace. You're going to stay. It's been amazing. These kids, I'm so happy for them. Okay, so then we have the drama, ICE, and the SEVIS rule that if you're here on an international student visa, you can only take one online course, one for 3 credits. And if you take more than that, you've got to leave the country, which is devastating, especially for the institutions who had already said, we're doing all online this year, all online. These kids are now going to have to figure out how to get home. I don't know how many countries will even let them return because they're in the U.S., which is a hotspot. What are these kids supposed to do? So our email blew up. Our phone calls blew up. These kids are freaking out. What do I need to do? I need to change my mind. I need to be in person to save my visa. So we joined the lawsuit, yada, yada, yada. That was a week of upheaval. Thankfully, the government backed down on that, and so that has settled down a bit. We still haven't gotten through all of the emails. We had 3 different deadlines for opting into online. One for domestic students, a later one for graduate students, and then an even later one for international students because of the whole ICE debacle. So we're still managing that. We're still modifying our course offerings for fall. We're still adding online sections. We're still adjusting classroom limits. We're still changing how faculty are delivering courses. It doesn't seem to stop. And so we're looking at, on July 23rd, to potentially adjust the schedule of all 45,000 students. I will not lie. That gives me a sick feeling in my stomach of all that can go wrong with that. I'm crossing my fingers. And I'm a Pollyanna, you guys. I am a Pollyanna. I am the silver lining. Everything will be fine. I have a really sick feeling about this. So I'll be back in a couple weeks and let you know how it turned out. Egads. What else has happened this month? In July, this week, we did our summer virtual commencement in a box. We've got the boxes folded and stuffed and shipped out Monday and Tuesday of this week. UPS and FedEx picked those up. Some of them have already received them. This is Thursday. Some of them have already received their boxes. That's amazing. We are putting the finishing touches on our video ceremonies so that the Commencement video will be live and downloadable starting August 3rd for our summer graduates. That's exciting. Things are moving so fast and changing even more frequently than daily that we are not doing a good job communicating to our campus partners, to our students, to their parents. And so I know that we are creating a lot of anxiety. It is not intentional. It is not intentional. I truly believe with every ounce that's in me that we all want the very best for our students. We want them to get what they need to be compliant with whatever status that they need to be in and to make progress to degree in the delivery mode, whether it's online or virtual hybrid, of their preference. We want them to get what they want. We want to satisfy our academic unit needs with faculty health concerns and meeting the CDC recommendations for social distancing. And the number of emails of questions and calls that I don't have the answers to give to my team. And it just raises more questions. And I feel terrible. I feel terrible. That's not our intention. It's an unintended consequence. I will tell you, one of my coworkers gave me a really great, I think it makes so much sense. His description of what we're living through is like when he was on deployment with the military. You never know at any given moment what is going to come at you next. And what is unsettling about this is perhaps, I don't know, I was never deployed, perhaps in the military you can compartmentalize that because you can call home or you can write home and you know things are normal there. There is no normal right now. Everything, you're always on edge about what's going to hit you next. And it's very unnerving and it's emotionally and physically exhausting. And you can't escape it. And right now we don't know any end in sight. I have a hunch it might be November elections. I don't know. It's crazy. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? What else is happening? Oh, so we've got our Protect Purdue pledge, and everybody has to take it. And it's you have to have a mask on you when you are on campus, unless you are in a situation where you can socially distance. You need to have a spare on you. You need to have hand sanitizer. You need to be committed to calling people out when they are not wearing their mask or socially distancing. We have to be accessible to our customers for Zoom calls, in-person calls, face-to-face calls, by appointment only. I still have half of my staff working remotely. So that puts a burden on the other half of my staff that are physically in the office to be able to handle the requests for face-to-face consultations. Thankfully, we've only had one. But there's balancing that. Right now, there's no athletics. The Big Ten, which is our division, decided we were going to only do in-conference games. A little piece of me wonders if, I don't know, I'm not going to put this out here. We've just had a number of our football players that have tested positive. So honestly, by the time the season starts, probably the majority of them will have already had it and recovered. So there's that. Every event for the fall has been canceled. Every social event. Homecoming, parent weekend, commencement. That has not been, quote, officially noted, but it's an event. I don't know why they think they're going to be any different. Yeah. Holy cow. This is a year for the record books, isn't it? And on 1/3 of the workforce is still encouraged to work remotely. So we are doing our part to adhere to that. I personally think there's only a 50-50 chance that spring 21 will have an in-person commencement ceremony. I'm not hopeful. I'm not hopeful. We are still in a hiring freeze. So my particular team is down 1 full-time staff member and about 4 student workers. On my weekly calls with my supervisor, that is a standing discussion item. Do we have the all clear yet? This is what's falling behind because of it. Just letting you know. There is a talent pool out there because naturally with where we're at with COVID, there's a number of staff that are just like twiddling their thumbs. We're not one of them, but there are many people out there that just don't have work to do. And so there's this great idea. It's a talent pool. But unfortunately, our business is so specialized, we've not been able to find anybody that we can pull out of the ranks to get them some work hours to benefit the greater good of the university. So that's been really disheartening. So it just continues to be a point of discussion with my supervisor and myself. Do we have an all clear yet? Okay. Well, we're this far behind in emails now. And we're this far behind in our workflows now. So, okay. Just keeping you up to date. And I know he's not empowered to make that call. He's got to take it up the chain of command as well. Anyway, we've also missed 3 of our biggest professional development conferences that occur nationally this spring. We will lose our Big Ten conference in the fall, and we will lose our Indiana college officer meeting in the fall as well. Everybody's trying to do a virtual. It's not the same. Work is just taking too much time, and you can't pull away from all of this head spinning stuff that I've just talked about to sit down, block time, and do some professional development virtually. I mean, I know what our online students are dealing with, right? There's too many competing items for your attention. So you are up to date now. It's July 16th. I'm really, really scared about July 23rd and 24th. So I'll come back and give you guys another update and let you know how our re-enrollment went next Thursday and Friday for all of our 45,000 students. And I hope that I'm wrong and that everything goes off without a hitch. I hope I'm wrong. But we'll find out. Okay, take care.